When possibilities became routines. A fireside transmission. Most people think comfort zones are peaceful, but often they are simply familiar. There is a difference, because familiarity can feel safe even when it no longer makes us feel alive. Many people imagine comfort zones as obvious places of limitation, but often they do not feel painful enough to leave. That is what makes them so powerful. Sometimes comfort zones look like routines that no longer inspire you, relationships that no longer nourish you, dreams quietly postponed until someday, days spent surviving instead of becoming. And little by little, possibilities begin shrinking into routines, not because you stopped wanting more, but because familiarity began feeling safer than uncertainty. The human mind is designed to predict. It likes patterns, known outcomes, familiar emotional landscapes, even painful ones, because the nervous system often prefers familiar discomfort over unpredictable change. And this is why people sometimes remain in lives they have already outgrown, not because they are weak, not because they lack potential, but because uncertainty can feel terrifying to a mind that has spent years learning how to survive. Many people are not choosing joy, they are choosing predictability. There is a difference, because predictability keeps life manageable. But aliveness asks something more from us. It asks movement, and movement is uncomfortable. Transformation rarely arrives wrapped in certainty. Usually it arrives quietly, as restlessness, as longing, as the growing awareness that something within you can no longer breathe inside the life you've been repeating. At first, the signs are subtle. A dream you cannot stop thinking about, a conversation that lingers in your chest, a version of yourself you glimpse briefly, and then quickly dismiss. But eventually the soul begins whispering louder, there is more than this. And that is often the moment people become divided within themselves. One part longs to step forward, another part clings to the familiar. Because comfort zones do not only protect people from failure, they also protect people from transformation. And transformation is vulnerable. The old identity loosens. The future cannot yet be fully seen. The mind asks, what if I fail? What if I regret this? What if I step outside everything I know and cannot find my way back? But perhaps the deeper question is this: what happens if you never step forward at all? What happens when possibilities slowly become routines and routines slowly become your entire life? Because surviving is not the same thing as living, and security is not always peace. Real peace allows room for growth, curiosity, movement, truth. It allows more of you to emerge. This is why so many awakenings begin with discomfort, not because life is punishing you, but because your soul is trying to show you that the life you once needed may no longer be the life you are meant to remain within. And yes, stepping beyond familiar patterns can feel frightening. But fear does not always mean stop. Sometimes fear simply means you are standing near the edge of transformation. Many people wait to move until they feel completely ready, but readiness is often created through movement itself. Confidence grows through stepping. Clarity grows through action. New realities become visible only after we begin walking toward them. You do not need to see the entire path to take one honest step. You only need the willingness to stop abandoning possibility in exchange for familiarity. So if something inside of you has been whispering lately, if some part of your spirit has grown tired of merely repeating, perhaps this is your reminder. Comfort zones may feel safe, but your soul was never meant to stop becoming. And sometimes the next version of yourself is waiting quietly, just beyond the doorway you keep postponing.